Executive Director of the association. We have a number of our own staff on the line and leadership team this evening that are included on your agenda. I'm hoping you can see the agenda now on your screen. Thank you to Bree and Sarah for sharing it. I'll be sharing a few other things throughout the meeting on the screen itself also, but I think you should have a fairly short and efficient spring meeting to ensure you are up to date on the most important items like business items and other key needs for Area 6. So please don't hesitate to stop us and answer any questions. But at this time, I'm gonna toss it to Franklin and Granville, your area chair and co-chair, to get us through the business portion. If you have any technical issues, please drop them in the chat box and our staff will try to help.
Okay, we'll have to ask you guys to speak a little bit slower. We're having some problems with the audio in our room. Is that what you are ready to start the meeting? Okay, thanks. The meeting, Area 6 spring meeting agenda is now in session. Now we said we're going to dispense with the introduction of attendees due to the electronic records. Okay, I see some nodding, that's good. Okay, the next item will be approval of the agenda. Does anyone have any items that need to be added or removed that you know of? Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Also move.
Okay, I hear nothing from Brianna. You're on mute.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if you wouldn't mind saying your names when you make a motion or a second. I'm writing the minutes and I don't have two screens, so I can't see who's saying it and who's also while I'm writing the minutes. So if you guys wouldn't mind saying your name if you make a motion or second.
Okay, thank you, Brown and Granville. Motion to accept the motion to start the meeting.
Granville Maitland motions. Do we have a second?
Second. Eric Parson.
Okay, I did not catch your name, please.
Eric Parson.
Okay, thank you. Brianna, do we need a vote on that or is it okay?
So I'm not sure if you guys are looking at the draft agenda I sent you a few weeks ago, but in the updated agenda that I have today, I didn't put the approval of the agenda on here, but if you want to approve it, please go ahead. But it's not necessary since this isn't one of like a board meeting for us.
Okay, all right, so we're good to go to the next session then. All right, approval of the winter meeting minutes. Does anyone have any changes or addition that need to be made to the winter minutes? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the winter meeting minutes as presented?
So move, Granville.
Okay, Granville Maitland moves. Do we have a second?
I'll
Laura
second
Thompson.
Carrie Allen.
Here you have it.
Okay, do we need a vote on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need a roll call vote or just a show of hands? Show of hands. Okay, I saw some hands, so it appears that the meeting minutes are approved. Next, we will move to the treasurer's report. Tara Williams, please.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Our balance December the 12th was $10,096.86. Of course, there have been no expenditures this year or income, so nothing has been spent. So we still have a balance of $10,096.86.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next item will be an Envirothon update.
All right, so we've been planning our area combined 3 and 6 Envirothon. We have our training live portion coming this Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. Students have submitted questions and our judges are going to be answering those live for the students. And then the next thing is going to be our station testing, and that's coming up on April 17th. And we're doing it on a Saturday. That way the students can really focus on that. And I think it's going to be a really great Envirothon. Even though we have to do things virtual this year, we've really made it the best it can be. So I'm really proud of what we've done.
Well, that sounds great. I heard that we have a couple of Dinwiddie County students interested, so we may be able to field a team again this year. Okay, any comments on the Envirothon update? Okay, hearing none, we will move to the business items. Yeah, mine is a little different. We'll go by the one on the screen. The first item is the DCR update.
Mr. Chairman, this is Russ Baxter filling in for Clyde Chrisman. So I'll open up the DCR update. First of all, it's I miss seeing you all in person and learning about things like the peanut producers and skippers and all kinds of things that go on in Region 6. So it's hopefully this is the last of the spring meetings that we'll all have to be separated like this. So they're always enjoyable. Clyde, unfortunately, is at Douthit State Park today, and the internet connection didn't allow for him to be able to participate in tonight's meeting. So I'm sitting in for Clyde. Just a couple of things. Daryl has a more detailed report, which I'll turn over to him in just a moment. But just a couple of things that big picture coming from DCR. It's been a very strange year, obviously, for a number of reasons, a tragic year in many ways, but also just having to do things differently. The General Assembly was no different than the rest of us. We're just having to adapt and do things differently. And the budget that was just adopted a couple of weeks ago is the fourth budget that the General Assembly has adopted since the COVID restrictions and the effect of the COVID on the economy and on the budget started almost exactly a year ago. What I would say is that soil and water conservation districts have done pretty well. It looks like the year has been good for us. Not only is the governor, or excuse me, did the conferees report, which is now before the governor for his consideration, included an additional $30 million into the Water Quality Improvement Fund for Ag BMP practices. So about a total of about 65 million. This is becoming a regular occurrence, not every year, but a number of years in the last 5. We've been able to reach at least into the 60s of millions. So that's a good sign of the support for the program, of the confidence that legislators and appropriators have in the districts and in the partnership with DCR. So we're certainly very pleased about this. I know I'm not going to steal all of Kendall's thunder because I know she has a more detailed report on some of the budget things, but just a couple of highlights that are of particular interest to DCR. Just a congratulations to the association for the additional $500,000 for VCAP. That program obviously is being well received, and this kind of support shows the General Assembly understands its importance. So congratulations on that. We also got additional money for environmental education. And so we'll be working on how to distribute those funds. Those were written to DCR's budget in the amount of about $170,000. So all I would say is it was a very peculiar session doing things online. Wasn't a lot of glad handing, I guess virtual glad handing. It just seemed very strange to log on to a committee meeting rather than to hang around in a committee room. But I think in terms of the issues that we're mutually interested in and that we are at work on in partnership, it was a very productive General Assembly. There were also a couple of tax credit bills that were passed, one for BMP practices that increases the tax credit, as well as one for precision nutrient and other types of precision equipment, planters and other things. So we're very pleased about that, and the General Assembly made room in the budget for that reduction in revenue that might come from people claiming those tax credits. So Kendall, Mr. Chairman, that's all I had for you today. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Daryl for his report.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Russ. I'm going to turn this camera on just to prove that it is me, since that question came up. Mr. Chairman and member districts of the area, please accept this Soil and Water Conservation Division report. Agricultural B&P surveys. A survey has been circulated electronically to farmers and ranchers in Virginia's Chesapeake Bay watershed. The survey is a multi-agency and agribusiness endeavor with a goal to achieve a more complete inventory of agricultural best management practices that could be, but are not currently, credited in the EPA Chesapeake Bay model for nutrient reductions. Virginia Cooperative Extension is the main point of contact, and responses are being accepted through this Friday, March 12th. A tillage residue survey that was scheduled had to be postponed until next spring due to concerns from several Chesapeake Bay stormwater conservation districts about compliance with COVID-19 safety protocols and insufficient time to obtain landowner permission for access to their properties before the survey would need to be conducted. As a result, the cover crop survey planned for next winter is also likely to be delayed unless it can be performed simultaneously. The department will need to request that the Environmental Protection Agency concur with this delay. The department and the U.S. Department of Agriculture Natural Resources Conservation Service will soon move forward with implementation of a memorandum of agreement to share location information on specific types of federally funded, expired, and expiring agricultural B&Ps within Virginia's Chesapeake Bay watershed, where producers authorize sharing of this data in writing. Initially, this will be piloted in one or more districts yet to be determined. A letter developed jointly by the department and NRCS, which invites producers to participate, will be mailed soon. Districts will be asked to conduct B&P verification inspections for willing participants and to offer them either a voluntary B&P authorization form, a continuing conservation initiative cost share application, or a resource management plan cost share application. Any data obtained will be both aggregated to county level prior to submission for Bay Model credit and reported to NRCS annually for their review of B&P lifespans. It's NRCS hope that after we do this for a few years, that they will be able to make recommendations for lengthening certain B&P lifespans based upon their actual usable life. Bay Bill update. As required by the Bay Bill, the department has developed and the Virginia Soil and Water Conservation Board adopted an office method for determining perennial streams. The Agricultural Best Management Technical Advisory Committee has recommended a portable livestock stream exclusion fencing B&P practice specification that will be considered by the Soil and Water Conservation Board along with other B&P specification changes at their meeting next week that would then take effect July 2021 if they adopt them. The board has also approved up to $2 million plus $260,000 in special technical assistance funds using unobligated funds returned by districts to the department to fund a new small herd initiative that will also take effect in July of 2021. Agricultural producers who own at least 20, but no more than 35 head of cattle, regardless of age or gender, will be able to qualify. Splitting of herds will not be allowed. Qualified participants will be able to receive up to $25,000 non-competitively on a first-come, first-served basis, similar to CREP. And this can be used for any livestock stream exclusion practice that's included in the FY22 cost share manual, without any impact on their annual cost share participant cap for any other practices they wish to apply for via regular VACs. BNP TAC. The Ag BNP TAC hosted its final informational webinar on December 17th of 2020. Department recommendations on all suggestions received during calendar year 2020 were reviewed. Restrictions on in-person meetings due to COVID-19 limited public participation and comment throughout calendar 2020 that are also likely to continue for some period of time until further notice in 2021. Consequently, only the statutorily required portable stream exclusion BNP specification mentioned a few minutes ago was voted on by TAC members last year. 22 suggestions for potential changes to the Virginia Agricultural Cost Share Program have been deferred until in-person meetings of the TAC can resume. 14 suggestions were tabled and 12 will be advanced by the department to the Soil and Water Conservation Board for their consideration during their upcoming meetings this spring. The program has implemented or will propose significantly higher participant caps yet again, an extensive expansion of stream exclusion options for farmers, the inclusion of buffer payments for wide buffers, the development of a new suite of Continuing Conservation Initiative or CCI BNP maintenance payments, the expansion of animal waste specifications with 4 new specifications, including 1 for livestock in confinement for the first time, higher cover crop cost share rates, new specialty crop options, and a variety of other new VAC specifications for nutrient management and vegetative cover. For fiscal year 2022, DCR will also propose to the Soil and Water Conservation Board some key items, including the legislatively mandated aforementioned portable fencing specification, the raising of annual participant caps to $150,000 per year, the loosening of VAC eligibility requirements, reducing continuous farming from 5 years to 3 years, expansion of the SL7 extension of watering systems practice, and expanded cover crop planting dates. As a result, the VAX program will now have more options and more flexibility for conservation-minded farmers than ever before, putting them in a better position to succeed in meeting water quality goals. Over the past several years, the Ag BNP TAC has been very busy working on updates to the Virginia Agricultural BNP Cost Share Program in an effort to provide greater flexibility to agricultural producers to help meet Chesapeake Bay WIP 3 goals. To help pave a pathway forward from here, the department has surveyed TAC members regarding the VAX program as well as the TAC's work, pace, and structure, which may result in changes to the TAC, which will be announced later this year. Conservation Planning Certification. In February, the department provided the Virginia Agricultural BNP and Cost Share course as part of our Conservation Planning Certification program. 16 attendees received this training that provided an introduction, overview, and operational information about the VAX program and the VAX manual. For existing enrollees in our Conservation Planning Certification program, in January, the department offered the DCR Conservation Planning course. It was attended by 41 people from a number of soil and water conservation districts. This was the final course that most of those participants in the DCR Conservation Planning Certification program needed before developing their own conservation plan for an on-site review by the department. The department's Conservation Planning and Training Coordinator, Carl Theogoyne, will be traveling throughout Virginia to review the nearly 30 district staff seeking a field review of their conservation plan in order for them to complete their DCR Conservation Planning certification. These field visits will take place from March through June. For more information on the field visit schedule or DCR Conservation Planning in general, you can visit our Conservation Planning page under the Division of Soil and Water Conservation on the DCR website. FY23 District Budget Template. This year, the District Budget Template, or Attachment D, peer review committee made up of 1 representative from each of the 6 district association areas has proposed 2 updates to the template. One update involves projections of future administrative support needs. The other will capture staffing demand related to dam rehabilitation projects. Before this new version of the template goes to the board for approval, the department solicited comments from districts. Following the review of those comments, the updated template document will go to the board for approval. Once approved, the template spreadsheet and instructions will be sent to all districts for completion and submission back to DCR by July 15th. Kendall has put up the training schedule, and you can see there that there's a link for budget template training that will be held on May the 4th. Shoreline Erosion Advisory Service. On December 2nd, during the Virginia Conservation Assistance Program webinar training hosted by the Virginia Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts, the department's SEAS staff were honored to receive the 2020 VCAP Community Partner Award. The Northern Neck Soil and Water Conservation District nominated SEAS for this award. As you certainly very well know, VCAP, a program of the association, is a residential cost share program that provides financial incentives to property owners. One of the VCAP eligible BMPs within the Chesapeake Bay watershed is Living Shorelines. Department C staff support the coastal districts by providing technical assistance in the proper siting, selection, design, installation, and maintenance of living shorelines. This was the inaugural year for this VCAP award, created so that districts might celebrate a partner who assists property owners in districts in implementing VCAP projects. C staff also serve on the VCAP Technical Advisory Committee, and the department is very grateful for receiving this award. We do appreciate it. Staffing and recruitment. The Division of Soil and Water Conservation has promoted Marissa Rowland to the Conservation District Coordinator position in our Tappahannock office. We shall also soon fill our Urban Nutrient Management Program Coordinator position and our Diversity Outreach internship for this year. The latter has interviews this Friday. Our Business Management Manager position is also currently under recruitment. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Glover. We appreciate your efforts and the efforts of the others who are working with our legislature to help improve our conservation situation. Let's see, next on the item is the Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District update.
Thank you, Mr. Zeta. This is Kendall Tyree, your association director. I'm gonna try to go through a few updates, but want you to hear from some of our leadership team that is on the line too. I really am privileged and honored to work with a really great leadership team of both directors who make up your executive board for both the association and foundation, as well as some key staff at the association office. I first want to take a moment to introduce them. Your president this year is Janina DeMaio France. She's a director from Tri-County City Soil and Water District and is, I believe, on the line this evening. Janina, would ask if you have any updates and discussion and can help me get through this before I toss it over to Richard also, who I believe is here.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Kendall. It's a pleasure to be able to attend the area meeting. It's really nice because in this virtual space, it's much easier for some of us to attend the area meetings. Although I found myself able to attend yours last year, it was one of the few that we actually had. And so it's great to be back here again. I just want to thank everybody for, all the hard work. And I said this at our annual meeting, all the hard work, navigating the challenges of the pandemic and working together with your staffs to keep conservation on the ground and keep us moving along through all these virtual challenges. I'm really hoping to see some of you all very soon. We've had a great legislative session, even though it was different and challenging. Actually, I heard some from people who were able to have virtual meetings with some of their legislators, and it was really nice because you were able to block very specific short times And so legislators were able to meet with more people than they might normally meet with. And so you really got that face-to-face interaction without the craziness of being in the building on session. So there was definitely some added benefits to the pandemic, although, you know, that kind of camaraderie and in-person interaction wasn't there. There still was some successful coordination with our legislators in the General Assembly. So I commend anyone who from Area 6 that was able to go out and actually, or I guess not go out, go virtually into the internet space and connect with those folks. Kendall put up a quick slide here, and I know she wants to touch on a few of things, and I have a couple that are passionate to me to hit on. The first one is the Envirothon this year is virtual. And so I know that Bonnie Mall is working really hard with all your district managers and education staff and ensuring that we can have a successful Envirothon. We recently had a mock Envirothon, and I understood that went really well. I think we had a fairly, large number of participants in the mock Envirothon. Kendall or Bonnie is on the line. How many folks did we have at the Envirothon?
We had 12 teams participate from across Virginia. And then we had Virginia, Dare, and Peanut combined and participated from Area 6. And then there were some Area 6 staff and Area 3 staff that combined to form another team. So a lot of collaboration this year.
And I have to say, Bonnie and everyone else that's helping with the Envirothons in Area 6, kudos to you, because this has been a challenging type of event to make virtual. And I participated in some of our Envirothon training sessions at Tri-County City. And I'm just blown away about how we're able to take this typically on the ground event and put it into a virtual space and make sense of it. And I think, Bonnie's given us some really good leadership in that, in her role, and is continuing to work and reach out to your education staff. Youth Conservation Camp is another one that folks are kind of wondering what's going to happen. I believe I heard that it was canceled, and then they decided to go with a virtual Youth Conservation Camp. And so I don't have too many details on that. So maybe further down, maybe Bonnie can give us some more information on that when I switch over. One of the big things that I want to talk about, and Kendall knows exactly what I'm going to say. I am so excited, you guys, because May 19th, mark your calendars. May 19th is going to be our golf tournament. We are going to have an in-person golf tournament. I am thrilled because everyone knows here that the tournament is one of my big foundation fundraisers that I really support. And I am stoked. I just beyond words about being able to see some of you guys in person on the golf course. It's going to be a little different. We can't get away from social distancing, but the staff's really doing a good job of working with the Hollows and ensuring that we can still have a really good event. And so I'm very excited. And please, if you golf, even if you don't golf, this is a really good opportunity to get out of your house. I know I can't wait to get out of my house. So I'm really excited. You can tell I'm feeling this. It was much like spring today here, and I feel a lot of energy in my workplace, with my family, with my community. And I'm excited to finally see us starting to get outdoors, back in the community, involved, right near Earth Day coming up. So in the next couple of weeks. So keep doing good work. And I'm just going to toss it back to Kendall, because I know that she has some important things that she'd like to talk with you about other association work. And of course, Richard Chafin is on the line for your foundation, and I know he has a few words he'd like to say as well. Thank you all again. I'm happy to be able to attend today.
Thank you so much, Janina. I am really honored and privileged to work with you as our president for your second term. And our association leadership team is rounded out with our Vice President Lynn Graves, our second Vice President Wayne Davis. Jim Gilson rounds out some of your foundation efforts, along with John Peterson and Richard Chafin. I would be remiss if I didn't also mention Dawn Wells, who is our treasurer on the association side, Stephen Meeks, who is your NACD board member, and I don't believe he's on the line tonight, but I'll run through a few updates from him too. Before I dive a little deeper and cover any gaps and deadlines that you might be interested in and topics of budget that might still need to be covered, I believe Richard is still on the line, and it goes to show that not only your association leadership, but your foundation is such a collaborative function that we blur the line between our work of association and foundation so much. Richard, are you still with us tonight and want to offer a comment or two?
I am, Kendall. Thank you so much for the introduction. And Franklin and Granville, thank you for the opportunity to just share a few quick comments on behalf of your foundation. As Nina has pointed out, some of the things that are still taking place for your foundation, on behalf of your foundation. And I just can't let this opportunity pass without giving tremendous kudos to Bonnie, to Kendall, and to the entire association team for the innovative things that they have done to continue not only Envirothon, but Youth Conservation Leadership Institute, and just to keep the activities of the foundation and the association alive and active and vibrant and continuing to particularly help our young people and give them opportunities to participate. So thanks to you all so much, and thanks to Area 6 for your continued support of your foundation. We continue to need your support, and we continue to appreciate it. And we will appreciate every opportunity that you can to encourage your districts to maintain their support during this difficult time. That's enough on my behalf, but again, just can't say thank you enough, but that's the best we can do right now. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Richard. I'm going to run through the rest of this pretty quickly and fill in some holes and call on maybe Bonnie or Kevin to help make sure I don't forget anything else. In terms of education items, you've heard about Envirothon going virtual. You've heard about our golf tournament, which raises funds for our education foundation programming like Envirothon. I'm going to shift over. You heard that Youth Conservation Camp is not occurring like it normally does. It is being shifted into a new venue in a virtual format. So Bonnie, do you want to talk about the Academy?
Yes, and then if I could just apologize to the Eastern Shore. You guys also had a team that participated in the mock Envirothon, so thank you. And I think that's everyone, but yeah, thank you to all those who participated in the mock Envirothon. And regarding this year's Youth Conservation Camp, we didn't want to cancel. We didn't feel it was comfortable in person. So a compromise is we are partnering with the Department of Forestry to offer the Virginia Academy of Natural Resources. It's going to be a week long in July 12th through 16th. And it's for current 9th through 12th graders. And the idea is in the morning, there'll be live presentations. And then in the afternoon, there'll be activities for the students to do on their own. And then the next day we'll debrief. And we're going to end the week doing a mock Envirothon. And again, encourage students to learn more about natural resources in Virginia and to find a community of like-minded students who are also interested in the natural resources of Virginia. And then if I could also just echo what Giannina said about all the efforts being done for the Envirothon this year. There's a lot of challenges to a virtual setting, and kudos to Area 6 and the teams that still want to compete, and all the district staff that are working, and especially working with Area 3 in combining efforts and collaborating. And I just want to say thank you to Brianna Mooring, Kathleen Sullivan, Tara Williams, and I know Sarah Kravitz has a team as well. So thank you to all of them.
Thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie also leads our Youth Conservation Leadership Institute. It is our biggest program we've had to date. If you have questions or are interested in learning more, please reach out to Bonnie. There's a few other items up here on your screen. Scholarships. We are moving forward with our scholarship program this year. Applications are due to the association office by April 23rd. This is a little later this year. Often we try to pull those award winners together by early May timeframe so that folks who have general recognition honor assemblies could do so. We recognize that might not be the case this year in that large setting. So April 23rd, and we'll notify folks by the end of May this year. And make sure you get those applications in. Directories, we usually provide you those hard copies at an in-person area meeting. That won't be the case this year, but within the next month, we'll be mailing about 3 to 4 copies to every soil and water district. So please be at the lookout. We'll be mailing it to your district office. That's a reduced number than usual. We usually try to give you one for every district director. If you would like additional, please reach out to Shannon in our office. But we do have on our website a updated all the time throughout the year online directory. I'm gonna shift down and talk about a few upcoming items and meetings that might want to be on your calendar. We are really invested hard in our virtual training blitz is what we've been calling it, but it's been ongoing since September at this point. There are a number of virtual trainings still on the calendar we hope you'll take advantage of. Today, Bonnie led our first video creation workshop with 60 folks and some really great speakers. I hope many of you were able to take part. It's a 3-part series throughout the month of March. In early April, we'll be doing a nutrient management and precision ag training. Wayne Davis is helping us lead and facilitate this one. In fact, we'll be looking to offer CEUs for this session also, much like the cover crop one we did last week. On April 9th, we are working with the Soil and Water Conservation Society to help host their annual meeting. It is open to district staff, directors, and a really great partnership. We encourage you to come and learn a bit more about the society, how you can be involved. Partners like NRCS, Dr. Martinez will be on to introduce himself, and we'll do some trivia. And then as Mr. Glover noted, May 4th, the attachment D session. Outside of the virtual trainings, we held our marketing PR committee meeting yesterday, but it's not too late to get involved if you want to join any of our committees. Also on March 22nd, our admin ops committee will meet. They'll be tackling their annual plan of work, revamp to the personnel manual, talking about some potential really good options districts can have for trainings in the coming year, as well as discussing some COVID policies and questions that have been submitted. On April 14th, open for everyone, our quarterly board meeting. It will be held in a virtual format also. The website link I showed a minute ago has a link for you to register, much like you did for tonight's area meeting. Mr. Baxter shared a lot of great information about budget, so I'll keep our General Assembly update relatively short. As he noted, we're really thrilled that there's $1 million this coming fiscal year for our VCAP program. On that note, I also want to ensure that you know who Kevin McLean is. Kevin is on the line tonight and is our VCAP coordinator. I'm really excited to be able to say we have this additional state funding, but would encourage you, if you're interested in VCAP, to get the ball rolling now. Our current wait list will roll over on July 1. So Kevin, do you want to help offer any more detail and provide a little bit of an update on VCAP?
Sure, and hopefully you can all hear me over the peepers. They're putting on a show tonight. Russ and Kendall have both hit on the most important thing. This $1 million from the state gets us back to FY20 levels, which is fantastic, and hopefully will help us meet all of the demand. As most of you know, there's been tons of demand for VCAP the last couple years. It's important to remember that now is the time to get rolling with VCAP projects again, with site visits and applications if you've got them lined up. Don't wait until July. Demand will be heavy. If you wait until July, it's going to take you some time to kind of get going again, and I don't want anyone missing out on funding. So, sooner you get the applications in, the better. If you have any questions on that, this area is very strong with VCAP, so I don't have a whole lot of concerns there, but reach out to Maura or myself in our office. And then the only other thing I'll plug is that we are working on really overhauling what our webpage looks like and all of the virtual resources we have there. We've done some virtual VCAP trainings. We're going to be doing some more, but we're also working on a number of other new resources that will go up in there probably on July 1st, reference guides and everything for districts to really try to streamline the process and make it super easy. If you haven't had the chance to work with and communicate with Maura Christian yet, please reach out to her. She's handling kind of all the receipt of applications and review and that direct outreach with district staff, and she's doing a great job with it. So get out there and get folks signed up now because we also have more money coming from DEQ in addition to that state funding, probably sometime between now and July to help clean up the little bit of a wait list we have right now. So we'll just keep things rolling, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm gonna also mention on this slide the Senate Bill 1161, House Bill 1837. This was legislation that was part of our legislative agenda that you approved this past December at our virtual annual meeting. It was carried by Delegate Plum and Senator Hanger, has passed unanimously and is now waiting the governor's signature. It was clarifying the representation on the Soil and Water Board for composition, those representatives that we move forward from areas and association with help from Farm Bureau and Agribusiness. So we're really excited that that's been clarified. And also to the other point, we are eager and excited to learn more about that environmental literacy funding, and we'll be working with DCR. As Mr. Baxter also talked about, really just an overview of VAX money and what we should be anticipating come July 1 program year in terms of cost share funding, technical assistance, recognizing that this is a hefty amount and doesn't even include the recordation fee. All of the funding for districts between operation dollars and cost share and technical assistance go before the state Soil and Water Board, and they have their sequence of meetings in March, April, and May. If you're interested, that board meets next week, and I'm happy to provide some additional information and get those links that Mr. Glover and Christine Watlington have provided to us. I don't believe Stephen Meeks is on the line as your NACD rep, so Stephen, speak up if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna fly through some of these items for you. Earlier in February, they held their annual meeting in a virtual format also. Our staff and many of our board members learned a lot in terms of how to run a virtual meeting itself. You see a map here of the regions of NACD. One of the big takeaways from this meeting is that Stephen Meeks was actually elected the Southeast Region Chair and has taken on that role. He led his first Southeast Region meeting last night, and we're really excited to support him and Virginia's role in NACD. During the virtual annual meeting, Virginia was recognized for a number of awards that we're very proud of, thanks to each of you who helped pay your membership dues to NACD. We were also recognized for a number of poster contest winners and photo contests that are on your screen. Would want to also point out that Stewardship Week is April 25th through May 2nd. The poster contest theme is Healthy Forest, Healthy Communities. Those are due to Bonnie at the association office around October. And then those state winners will be forwarded to NACD. Hopefully next year we'll have some additional winners like you see here at the national level. The photo contest theme is conservation through the local lens. Those entries are due to us by the end of July, and then you submit your own entries to NACD by late 2021, and we'll work with you there. But we encourage you to all try to plug into Stewardship Week. It's the week right after Earth Day. A few others save the date on your screen that Stephen really wanted to point out. Again, some of these being association or foundation dates. You're always welcome to attend the Southeast Region meeting. It is the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. If you're interested, just let me know. I'd be happy to get you that contact information. Beginning later this month is NACD's Virtual Advocacy Week. Much like many of you helped me in online meetings with legislators during session this year, they are trying to do the same thing with Congress. So if I can help you make any contacts and help with advocacy in that way, please let me know. We'll be doing some outreach also. Our quarterly board meeting, as mentioned, on April 14th, our May 19th foundation golf tournament that we're all excited about. Stephen will be attending your summer board meeting for NACD. I would be remiss, we talked a lot about the state Envirothon competition, but your national has also gone virtual in July. So our students participating in the virtual Envirothon in Virginia are going to be well prepared for a virtual effort in July too. Our Southeast Region meeting is still an in-person meeting this August at the Gulf Shores in Alabama. Our Employees Association meeting dates are up. Graves Mountain is planned in person in August, and then next year's NACD annual meeting is planned in Orlando, Florida. So some key items to keep on your radar. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out directly. I know that was a lot of key information and a lot of folks that really played a role in providing you an update, but truly believe it is a team effort. So Mr. Maitland and Mr. Zita, I really do appreciate being able to provide an association update, and we'll stop there unless there are questions.
All right. Any quick questions or comments for Kendall or the others? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to the next item. VACDE update.
Okay, my name is Julie Head and I am the alternate for the board in Area 6. I'm from the Eastern Shore Soil and Water Conservation District. And VACDE, for anybody who's new, is the Virginia Association of Conservation District Employees. The mission is to provide professional development, leadership, and a voice for communicating issues and solutions on behalf of district employees. Okay, and the vision is to be an accepted and integrated workforce of employees dedicated to the conservation of natural resources. We have a number of things that we do. First off, though, we have an approved set of bylaws and an executive committee and officer team that consists of a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, past president, and 6 area reps, along with alternate area reps. This year, there were 27 awards presented to employees based on length of service. And quite amazingly, 7 of those are for 25 years, 4 were for 30 years, and 3 of them were for 35 years. And that's a lot of years that some of these people have dedicated to conservation. There's also an Outstanding Conservation District Professional Award that's given, and that was given to Brandon Blevins with Clinch Valley Soil and Water. We are looking forward to being in person at Graves. Virtual's fine, but in person has a lot of advantages. So tentative dates are August 24th through 26th, 2021. We are meeting on Monday to start discussing the topics that are going to be covered. And we also hope to provide a limited number of scholarships to help employees who might not otherwise be able to attend. And if you want to apply for one of those scholarships for training, you have to be a member of the Virginia Association of Soil and Water Conservation District Employees. We are a key partner with the Educational Foundation in the largest annual fundraiser, which is the auction that takes place at the annual meeting. We couldn't do that in 2020, but same thing, looking forward to 2021 when we can all get back out in the world. So if you have ideas for auction items or know of somebody who might have something, please pass along any suggestions to any of the people on this. And if you are interested in volunteering to help run the auction, that's always good too. We have a benevolence fund to help SWCD employees with times of unusual need. And let's see, we have a marketing toolkit to help Soil and Waters market. And just like Virginia Soil and Water is part of a larger group, is a similar setup. And Virginia is part of the Southeast Conservation District Employees Association and the National Association of Conservation District Employees. And we have some members who have been getting fairly active. Membership is only $15 and it's open to directors, partners, anybody out there. You don't have to be an employee. And if we have 175 paid members by the end of March, we'll donate $250 to the Educational Foundation. We have a webpage at the Virginia Soil and Water website, so there's information and there's a brochure and a membership form, and we would love to have you join us. We currently have 82 paid members and 126 on the books. So that is most of it. I've just started to get involved, but like I said, we're all looking forward to the in-person trainings again.
All right, thank you very much. And we will say that we do appreciate the folks who have dedicated those years of their life to service to the soil and water conservation. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, we are going to move to the Area 6 district reports. Kendall, do you have a written copy of these available for the screen? Okay, great. Okay. Do the other members have copies? And I don't have one personally.
I can say that on our audit, everything went real well. And we really thank Sarah for it.
All right, thank you very much. The Chelan Basin, is anyone there? Do we need to make any additions?
No, we don't have any additions. We've been busy finishing up with spot checks and then SL6, as well as planning our tire recycling event, which will take place next week, Thursday in Cortland and Friday in Emporia.
All right, okay. The Eastern Shore, any quick comments on that?
Just in addition to our report, I just wanted to say we had our audit exit interview yesterday, and that went well with no findings and no issues. So we're good for that. And we are, in addition to our report, we are also planning our first in-person Arbor Day since COVID hit. We had to cancel last year, so we're excited to have an outdoor Arbor Day event May 1st. So we're planning that and moving forward.
All right, well, congratulations on a good audit.
Thank you.
Okay, James River, do we have any additions or comments?
I do not have anything additional. Joe, do you have anything additional? I think we're good.
Okay. All right, Peanut District.
We don't have anything additional to add unless Megan does.
No, I don't think so. It looks like we've got everything on there.
All right, thank you. Virginia Dare. Do we have any comments from the Virginia Dare District?
Okay, this is Kathleen. I think y'all have, I think that's the current one. It looks like it's the one from the last meeting. I'm not sure. Brianna, is that the correct one that's on the screen? The, our district up.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Any other comments on it? Okay, we're not hearing you.
Okay, I'm here. I think we're good on everything. We will have our tire recycling program tomorrow, and our education initiative that we're doing for Agriculture Literacy Week. We just have an update. We were just working with Chesapeake Farm Bureau on getting books in the libraries, and Virginia Beach Farm Bureau has partnered with us as of yesterday. So I think we're going to be able to get all 55 schools in Virginia Beach with the What's in My Lunchbox approved Ag Literacy Week book. So that's one of our education initiatives that we have update. And that's all I have. And Corey, you can chime in if I've left something out.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much for your work and your help with this. Okay, we will move on to the next item. Are there any additional items of discussion from the floor that we need to take care of?
I had one. This is Corey Hoare with Virginia Dare Soil and Water. I'm also serving as the VACDE president. Just started in January. And I don't know, you guys might recall last spring meeting we had, I had asked that Area 6 would sponsor a lunch for the Southeast Conservation District Employees Association meeting that we're holding in Virginia Beach this year. So I wanted to see if you guys would be interested in still doing that. Last year, the meeting ended up getting canceled due to COVID-19, and this year we are moving forward with having this meeting. It's at the end of this month. And you know, I've gotten a quote on what our lunch would cost, and it's roughly $250. So that meeting is basically state presidents from all the Southeast Conservation District Employees Association, and they have a mid-year planning meeting to plan their meeting that will be hosted in November in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Okay.
Corey, this will be coming from the Area 6 Treasury, or each district put in to come up with $250.
It would be, I asking that it would be from the Area 6 funds.
I'll make a motion to move, we do that, $250 for the Employee Association Virginia Beach meeting. Is that what that is?
Yeah, so it's basically NACD is broken into different regions. We're involved in the Southeast region. And so this is just the Conservation District Employees Associations from all the Southeast region states having this meeting. So it's about going to be between 15 and 20 people in Virginia Beach. And so that's what that's for.
Okay, do we want to cap this at 250, or do we need a little wiggle room?
The quote that I received was for $240 exactly. So I'm thinking that 250 would be good because that meeting begins March 30th. And so we've already gotten pretty much all of our registration in.
Right. Okay. So Granville, you're you have motion. Okay. Do we have a second on the motion to supply $250?
Richard Taylor seconds.
All right. Brianna, do we need a vote on this, or can we just have like a unanimous?
Yes, you should vote on this one.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start with Appomattox River District. Do we have any?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, we're good. Chowand Basin. Let's have a representative from the Chowand Basin. Somebody tried.
You may be able to actually do a yay, nay vote on this also, just an up, down rather than a roll call. Again, it doesn't have to follow the same protocols as a district board meeting in a virtual setting.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor, let's hear a yay.
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 Yay and a name.
Yay.
I suggest you ask for any nays, and if you don't have any, go on
I'm
about
still waiting for more yays. Okay, I hear no more yays. All opposed, nay. Okay, hearing no opposition, the motion passes. We will provide $250 from the Southeast meeting.
So I guess
I appreciate that.
Contact with Tara. I guess Tara and Corey will get together on that then, correct?
Yep, Tara, I'll get with you and we'll figure out the easiest way to get that done. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks, Corey.
Thank you much. Any other items that we need to discuss? Going once. Going twice.
Adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn from Granville Maitland. Do we have a second?
Kendall, you have anything? I'm sorry.
No, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to update everyone. You're right, with a motion and a second to adjourn. I appreciate even the Area 6 meeting being held in this format and for folks taking the time out this evening.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for each of you who attended, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Kendall, go play with that baby.
That's, sorry, she broke into the room.
I
I'm
know,
gonna
but
go.
it's so cute, the little cotton top. I
We
was,
have to see her. Before you leave, we have to see her.
All right, she broke into the room. My husband ran in to get her. She's learned just to wave at a Zoom camera. So thank you, guys. I'm gonna go put her to bed and have a little bit of fun too, and I can't wait to see you in person.
Okay, thank you, Kendall.